Boys, here we go right into the post-game. This episode will probably be a longer one, so sorry if it took so long to come out.
Yeah, but this will actually be the finale, everyone. The final episode of our Pokemon Ultra Sun playthrough. And after this series is done, part 2 of Let's Go, Pikachu will be out, and then we'll be heading to Galar.
Oh, this little chunkster just decided to burst through our door like he owns the place. Be careful, Obama, he might eat your mom.
Was that a subtle your mom joke, Joe El Mao? Be careful, Obama. Joe is already coming in with the insults, and we're not even a minute in.
Oh, he's taking us to this bullshit place, boys. Festival Plaza or whatever this place is called. It's meant for Nintendo Wi-Fi stuff, but it's all closed down now.
It was meant for Street Pass, Obama, although I doubt anyone ever used it, let's be honest. I mean, I never did, but to be fair, I never really walked anywhere anyway. But apparently, Team Rocket has taken this place over, and he needs our help to stop them.
Yeah, Team Rocket is back, everyone. But they're called Team Rainbow Rocket now, so I guess Giovanni has changed sides, if you get what I mean. Good for him, though, I guess.
What does the rainbow part actually mean, though, Joe? I know you don't even know. And to be honest, I don't either. But basically, Team Rocket has taken over the Fatso's base for some reason or another.
Okay, wow, so we can't even use our own Pokemon in here, apparently? There must be some sort of jamming signal blocking the Pokeballs from opening?
Yeah, so I had to choose one of the battle facility Pokemon to use and take on Team Rocket with. And these 2 other bozos decided to show up and help me too, but they're just bots.
None of this makes any sense, though. Why are they even letting Team Rocket battle in here to begin with? They should just force them out. But no, we have to do everything.
Okay, Obama, this is where your skills will really be required since we won't be using our over-leveled team for this battle. Not that they really made a difference when it came to you.
If all I'm battling is Raticate and shit like this, Donald, then I'll be fine. Plus, the Pokemon are all set to level 50 as well, so I think I got this.
Ah, so you chose Sceptile to begin with. Pretty good choice, and this was also the Pokemon you chose back in our Omega Ruby playthrough where you actually played like a pro compared to this game's nonsense.
This is like a proper battle tower battle or something, boys. It means we actually have to play really well to progress onto the next round. Although I think this place has a battle facility too.
Well, that goes to show how skilled I am, boys, even when I'm not using a team of over-leveled Pokemon. I just one-shot that rat with Leaf Storm. Sceptile is just so great, isn't it?
Okay, but doing it again against Golbat was a complete waste of time, Barry. Plus, it lowered our special attack too, which made Leaf Storm even weaker.
And it's gone and used Toxic on us now as well, Obama. And to make things worse, we can't even use healing items in this battle. So you're basically going to have to use some real strat.
My real strat is going to have to be running away, or in this case, switching out to Sawk. Although thinking about it, sending out a fighting type against a flying type was a mistake.
Well, it's good to know you still play like a fucking moron when you're not using our team, but now we're going to have to pay for the therapy sessions for these Pokemon too.
Well, the last Pokemon I have in my arsenal here is Empoleon Joe, which I probably could have used instead. That Pokemon is so great.
Actually, Stone Edge is your best for dealing with this bad Obama. I feel like they gave Sawk that rock-type move to counter flying types, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, see, I do know what I'm doing most of the time, Donald, and now his final Pokemon is the snake. I swear Team Rocket never changes when it comes to the Pokemon they use.
Yeah, this is literally a Team Rocket from another universe, and they still use the same Pokemon types, holy hell. But then that does lead me to ask how this whole multiverse thing works.
Archie clearly got bored with one universe, Joe, so he went and made more of them. But then some universes have mega evolutions and others don't, so that whole split is a little confusing, to be honest.
It's not confusing, Donald, and we even explained it all to you during the Pokemon X and Y series we played, remember? That was when the split happened, when that AZ fellow unleashed the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, but I can't even remember the story, so we can let someone in the comments explain to us why there is now a split in the Pokemon timeline.
This is like Endgame all over again, boys, although that movie also doesn't make sense to me. I wonder if Arceus had anything to do with it.
Arceus wasn't in Endgame, Donald, you dumbass. And if he was, then the movie wouldn't have been very long. He would have clapped Thanos' cheeks into oblivion.
True that, Obama. And talking of clapping, how about you clap this snake? It's got us paralyzed yet again, which is just ridiculous and cheap.
Boom! He did it actually. Well done, Barry, but what even was the point of all this anyway? We could have just skipped this shit. All I want to see is the battles between the evil leaders from each region.
Yeah, to be fair, so do I, Donald. I'll probably skip the pointless battles out for the sake of time, otherwise the full movie may end up breaching the 12-hour upload limit, which would not be good.
Oh yeah, this is actually the longest series we've ever done, boys. I don't feel like returning to Alola for a long time after this either. Kanto and Galar is where I want to vibe out.
Well, we will have to get you a restraining order for those regions, too. Joe, don't worry. The trainer school is completely off limits before you get any ideas.
Yeah, well, I'll just have to let Jizzy Joe take over, and then I can watch all the younglings from his eyes.
Hang on, check it out, you two. We seem to be witnessing a press conference with Lusamine and the other two dummies.
Oh, yeah, she's just talking about the whole Ultra Necrozma and Ultra Wormhole deal since the whole of Pony Island almost got nuked. LMAO.
Very reassuring to know Lusamine is the type of leader to comfort her citizens. I'm sure I could do the same if the occasions ever arise.
Oh, really, Joe? So what would you say to reassure the whole world if, like, a black hole suddenly opened up somewhere then?
I'd tell them it's just you taking a shit, Obama.
Okay, well, whilst you were abusing him, Joe, it seems the press conference just got interrupted by Team Rocket and what looks to be a scary figure in some nice Italian shoes.
It's obviously Giovanni Donald, and his name goes well with his shoes, since it's an Italian name.
Okay, throughout this postgame, boys, I want to see if this one compares with the Omega Ruby one. That Delta episode was literally one of the best postgames ever, along with the Heart Gold and Soul Silver one.
Good idea, Barry, but it won't compare to the Gen 3 post game. Exploring a whole other region automatically makes it win. But anyway, I cut to this part in the Rocket Castle since there was so much goddamn talking.
Yeah, way too much dialogue for my liking too, but anyway, it seems like the battles have begun and the first one is with Guzma, or I should say Guzma is now a good guy.
Yeah, he's changed his ways apparently, so good for him. I wish we could have seen him become nice like in the anime, but anyway, looks like we're gonna team up with him to battle these two grunts.
It'll be nice to finally team up and battle with that goddamn Masquerain instead of battling against it and his Golisopod too.
Yeah, this should be fun, and then we can start battling all the admins and leaders boys. I already know all the ways to go, but I think I'll just skip straight to the leader battles.
Well, these two should be easy to beat. One Pokemon each, and our team is goated to hell and back since I did a little training with them for you, Obama, since I'm such a good friend.
Well, good you did, Joe, because I heard from a viewer that these leaders are going to be hella strong, which means I'll need to book in more therapy sessions for Obama El Mao.
Hey, mental health is important, Donald. Make sure to take care of yourselves, kids. Also, we have to make sure our Pokemon haven't got PTSD by the time this series ends, since we won't see these Pokemon ever again afterwards, will we?
You know that Golisopod is properly fucked up. When it battles us, it's OP as hell, but when we finally get to battle alongside it, it does absolutely nothing helpful at all.
Okay, well, it did one-shot Raticate Joe, but yeah, I was expecting a first impression attack or something to come in clutch. But nope, it never happened.
Well, it's fine, we beat them still. I one-shot that Fira with Thunder Punch, which was such a good choice move to teach Peppermint.
All right, I read about this. They both go to the east and west, and you have to pick the right path, Obama. I say we go left first and take on Archie since he's that way.
Yeah, Archie and Maxi are first, both with their usual teams, but probably at a higher level, which is what makes it difficult, I guess. I mean, imagine if they had legendaries, LMAO.
Okay, I made it to Archie's room rather uneventfully. So let's get the main show on the road, which is the whole point of this postgame, apparently.
Wow, he looks a little different than he did in Omega Ruby Boys. It's like he's older, or he's been moisturizing more or something.
Definitely the moisturizer that's done this to his face, Joe. He looks less intimidating as well. Not exactly someone who looks like an evil leader in my eyes.
Okay, well, more talking is going on here, holy hell. But I want to get right into the battle, boys. I wonder if he will have some new Pokemon, though. That would be nice to see.
So he has a team of 5 Pokemon Obama. I can't remember his team from the OG games, but I can bet he'll have some Gen 3 Pokemon.
Okay, so his first Pokemon is Mightyena. No surprise there, and this doggo is not as good as our good boy Shiro, is it? Go nuke this thing, Obama.
Wow, he used Intimidate on us too. So now we both have lowered attacks, but I'll one-shot this guy, just watch.
Yeah, just use one Flare Blitz, Obama. That move is the most goated one we have in my eyes, although Outrage is pretty solid too, actually.
Nice way to start the Battle of Obama with that one hit kill. And yeah, Outrage is great and all, Joe, until it confuses you. That's the only dragon-type move which I personally don't like.
Okay, his next Pokemon is Sharpedo. One Thunder Punch should be enough to deal with this fish, but it will probably have rough skin which will hurt a little.
Should have swapped out to Raichu, though, Obama. That water move did a lot of damage, and then rough skin will probably kill us now.
Yeah, Barry back at it again with the murdering, but that's Sharpedo down. Rough Skin is a pretty cool ability, though, let's be honest.
Okay, man has sent out a Crobat now, which is a Pokemon he never had before. Actually, it's not even a Pokemon from the Hoenn region, but always good to see one of these boys.
Raichu would have been the better choice in this one, Obama, since it's part flying as well as poison. But I think Salamence is still strong enough to nuke this bat.
Apparently not Joe. It actually survived a direct hit from a Dragon Pulse, holy hell. I never knew Crobat has such high special defense.
Yeah, I knew he'd play cheap and use a full restore or something on it. So now I have realized that the best thing to do is get the Pokemon either in the yellow section or kill it in one shot.
Well, it's definitely dead now after using a toxic on us. It's trying to kill us slowly and painfully, Barry, so you should blast it to dust with the pulse.
I need to change that ability on Salamence still, though. Moxie is a bit pointless, since our special attack is higher, although our Z move seems to be a physical attacking one, so it could still work.
That's a complete waste of time now. Donald, since this is the last episode, but for future reference, ask the viewers which abilities would be best, since you're completely useless.
Elamau, that mug just got obliterated with Earthquake. I loved how it was flailing around like that. I hate that Pokemon so much, too.
Donald, you piece of shit, man. You jinxed my battle with your statement earlier about these guys having legendaries, and now I have to deal with this oversized whale.
Listen, Barry, I did kind of expect this. It would make sense, but then it also leads me to ask how he even caught Kyogre when the protagonist in his world probably caught it saving the world from getting flooded.
Yo, Obama, just use Gigavolt Havoc and you'll one-shot this whale. Raichu has such high special attack as well, and it'll be super effective.
Yeah, this is where all the therapy we've had together will come into fruition. And this one's for you too, Jalen. Thanks for being a viewer of our channel. And for the first time ever, a Raichu will win a battle against the legendary.
I still want to know how much power these Z moves have because I have no clue. So someone let us know if you guys have an idea.
Boom, I told you, Barry. The whale wasn't about to handle the full power of Therapy Raichu. And that concludes our battle with leader Archie. It was a pretty fun battle too.
Yeah, I'm still a bit annoyed that Peppermint got taken out by Sharpedo of all things. But anyway, yeah, that's Archie done and dusted, which means the next opponent of mine will inevitably be Maxi.
Yeah, Maxi will be next, and I assume he's going to have Groudon or something. I mean, I'd rather him have that than have a Mega Rayquaza. Could you imagine if one of them had that?
I'd rather not deal with Mega Rayquaza either, Donald. That Snake Boy would obliterate our team easily, and probably more so than Ultra Necrozma did without the stat boost.
All right, are you two time to move on? I pressed some random button behind that picture for some reason, bit weird for him to hide it there and then just tell me about it.
Okay, we made it to Leader Archie, and for those wondering, just to reiterate, we skipped the dumb puzzles because nothing really exciting happened during them. And for the sake of the full movie, we can't breach the 12-hour mark.
Yeah, the battles with the leaders are what you all came here for anyway, and those puzzles are dead-ass boring, but here we go. This is leader Maxi of Team Magma, and personally, he's actually nicer than Archie.
You're right, Donald. In the anime, Archie gets possessed by the blue orb and turns evil whilst Maxi tries to reason with him without much luck.
The Hoenn region anime series is one of the best. And since this is a longer episode, here's another question for you all. Which anime season was your favorite and why?
Lots of people will pick X and Y Joe since that's where Ash was more mature and he got a kiss from Serena at the end, LMAO. But they didn't really show it for some reason.
Okay, Donald, back to this battle. I led off with Shiro here since I expected this guy to have some fire types, but he's led off with Mightyena as well, just like Archie did, which is a bit annoying to be honest.
Well, you could use that brain of yours and whip out some fighting type moves to nuke this doggo if you wanted Obama. But if you want to be boring and slow, then continue using Shiro.
Yeah, that crunch from Mightyena is actually really strong somehow. Wasn't expecting it to do that much damage to us, but here we are.
Well, I knew I'd still win Donald. Accelerock is so OP and it always goes first, just like Quick Attack. But anyway, his first Pokemon is done, so let's see what's next.
Next is his counterpart, Pokemon to Archie. This is Camerupt, which could mega evolve, you know. Solid Pokemon in my opinion, but I don't like it as much as Sharpedo.
Well, just like Sharpedo did, it's taken out one of our Pokemon Joe. Of course, Obama was going to be a lazy shit and not bother healing our Shiro up.
Okay, if he wants to play like that, then I'll send out Dreamer and spam Earthquake on this camel and blast him into a dark crevice from which he shall not return.
Yeah, go for it, Barry. Also, it would have been cool if we had Mega Evolution at this point, too, guys. I did read some comments saying we could get it later on, but it's a bit pointless right at the end, if you ask me.
Yeah, agreed, Joe. I could have made my phone call like I always do and whip us up some Mega Stones and a Mega Bracelet, but it would have been too OP during the story, to be honest.
OMG, this guy has a Crobat too, guys. You know, as much as Archie and Maxi hate each other, they seem to both like the same type of Pokemon down to the last detail.
Well, at least you took my advice, unlike the last time, and you've now gone and switched out to Raichu Berry. I promise this guy will nuke the bat with one electric move.
Yes, to be fair, this is one of those rare occasions where Joe has been right again, and you didn't listen to him, Obama. If anything, you should be listening to him more than yourself.
Yeah, Donald, 2 words for you, bro. Fuck off, and now I'm here battling this wheezing. Also, do me a favor and inhale all his fumes.
Now, why would I want to do that? But I would inhale Galarian wheezings because that fellow pumps out nice air after inhaling toxic gases, which is the opposite of this one.
Obama, you dumbass, why are you using the Z move on this Pokemon when we're going to have to deal with his legendary soon? You're mad, you know that, right?
I have a plan for Groudon, actually, Joe. Your ice cream should be strong enough to deal with him with a couple ice beams.
Use Salamence, Obama. It would be a better choice, to be honest, since Groudon might some OP fire-type move or something, and then Joe's ice cream will be deaded.
It would have been more fun if these guys had their primal forms of each legendary Pokemon, too. Don't you guys think? I wonder why Nintendo didn't bother adding that in.
Probably because everyone is still recovering from the battle with Ultra Necrozma still, and if they added the primal forms, then we'd get nuked again and again.
Nah, Obama, they're just wimps. They could have added in the primal forms, but then all the snowflakes would have complained even more about how difficult the game is, even though they asked for that to begin with.
Yeah, Donnie is right. You can never win with some people, as we should all know MMAO. But anyways, let's see how much damage our dragon can do against Godzilla number 2.
I would like to point out how I like the fact that Ancient Power has fossils on some of the rocks that are thrown at us. That was a nice little detail they added.
And I would like to point out how using Earthquake on the Pokemon, which is the literal embodiment of the Earth, is also another dumb thing to add to your collection of dumb things, Obama.
At least he used Dragon Pulse to finish it off, and we'll get the stab bonus with that one too.
You two keep bullying me about my strats, but you fail to realize that I always end up winning in the end, and isn't that all that matters, really?
Well, maybe to you it matters, but to Joe and I and everyone watching, and your therapist too, it makes all our brain cells want to commit suicide. And I bet you've even broken your therapist when you pull stunts like that.
His therapist probably needs therapy, and I would completely understand that and would happily pay for it too.
If you two are done, Maxi is beat now, and he also has a secret button behind his wallpaper thing on the wall. I forgot what this is called, but anyway, let's move on.
Pressing that button seemed to open up those 2 other doorways, Barry, which means there's going to be 2 more bosses for us to battle. And I think we all know who they're going to be. That blue-haired fellow and the orange-haired one.
Hang on. What the hell is going on here? Guzma seems to be double-teaming those 2 Team Rainbow rocket grunts with his bare hands.
Wow, and he's talking to us at the same time. This guy must be super strong to be able to do this, or those 2 Rainbow Rocket Grunts are super weak, LMAO.
I think he's actually suffocating them too, which is good because they deserve it for kidnapping my dear Lusamine. You need to save her at all costs, Barry.
Oh, well, well, well. Look, these 2 have decided to show up now as well. I bet they're going to have a little moment or something here, boys. I might end up tearing up a little.
Yeah, but are these 2 actually from the same universe, or are they from some random one which Team Rainbow Rocket brought to our world? I don't think they're from the same place.
Either way, they just got warped back to whichever world they came from, Obama, which means the only thing you have left to do is head onwards through one of those doors and see who's waiting to battle us next.
And it's none other than our boy Cyrus. And did you 2 know he's actually only like 27 years old when he tries to take over the world in the Sinnoh region?
He's 27 going on like 45, though, Joe. All the stress that goes with world domination must really get to him. I bet he dyed his hair blue so the gray wouldn't stand out as much.
And he was the first one interested in our Pokedex for some reason, and Rodham decided to come out by himself and introduce himself to Cyrus. What a fool.
Yeah, Cyrus could have just grabbed Rodham and then run off back to his own dimension. I mean, if I was an evil leader, I would have done that. A talking Rotom is super rare and would score me bank.
Carry out your little evil plan after Cyrus's beat throw, Joe. And this battle is probably going to be a lot tougher than the first two, Barry, so get ready.
Boys, did you just see that? Cyrus used his Master Ball on a goddamn Houndoom of all things. He must be literally insane to do that.
Holy hell, what a madman. This is actually the definition of insanity in my eyes, boys. But that begs the question regarding what he caught his legendary with.
Well, the catch rate for Dialga and Palkia, who I assume he'll have, are actually so high that you could catch them both with a normal Pokeball quite easily, and you could even catch Palkia with a netball.
Boys, can you two focus and give me some compliments here? I'm literally one-shotting his entire team. Shiro's literally going to be the most godlike Pokemon we've ever used other than Arceus.
Wow, I think there's some pact going on here between these evil leaders, though, guys. They all seem to be using a Crobat for some reason. First Archie and Maxi, and now Cyrus, too.
Yeah, it's the Crobat Pact. Although it would make sense for only Cyrus to have one since Crobat was introduced in Gen 4. I think so. I don't know how the other two got one, probably with Action Replay.
As powerful as Action Replay is, Joe, it's not able to transcend time and space and suddenly make a Pokemon appear in a generation it's not meant to be in. Although one could have slipped through the multiverse, I guess.
Yeah, and you would know a lot about Action Replay Donald LMFAO, but anyway, here we are battling another flying type. Honchkrow is a great Pokemon in my opinion, boys.
It is Barry, but not as great as this next one being Dialga. So that means if we played Pokemon Ultra Moon, we would have got to battle Palkia.
If he has both Palkia and Dialga, then what's going on with Giratina? It would have been more fun to battle that fellow like we did with Volo and Legends Arceus. And that was a tough battle too.
Boys, I've just come to the conclusion that Cyrus is using an Action Replay himself.
Wait, what, Obama? An evil leader cheating? Who would have guessed, you fool?
Okay, but his Dialga was in a Master Ball too, and I just went back to look through all his other Pokemon, and they were all caught in Master Balls, which means our man here has been using an Action Replay to get unlimited Master Balls.
Wow, that's probably the most I've ever heard someone use the word ball in a sentence. But I guess you do like your balls, Obama.
Yeah, and now we just got nuked by probably one of the best moves ever, other than Judgment. Roar of Time is such a cool move, guys, and the name they gave it is so awesome as well.
Certainly is a great move, Donald. I agree. I don't mind getting killed by that or Dialga any day, but Ultra Necrozma can go burn in hell the gold shit.
You know this Dialga has the potential to pull an Ultra Necrozma on us, though.
Nah, Joe, we outsped the thing with Flare Blitz, which was actually a solid choice since Dialga is part Steel type. Good to know you do remember some type combos, Barry Elamau.
It's all in my mind somewhere, Donnie, but anyway, there we go, boys. That concludes the battle with Cyrus. He was the easiest so far, although I already have a feeling about who the strongest is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be Ghetsis and his busted Hydreigon, which will probably spam Dragon Dance and Dragon Pulse or something. Or even worse, he'll have a Z move.
We shall see about all that, Joe, but for now we got given the Galactic Key, which is a nice little throwback to our Diamond and Pearl days in the Sinnoh region.
I still don't get what Team Rocket's evil plan is with getting every team together like this. And he thinks he'll be able to become the leader of all the other leaders?
Yeah, I must say I have to concur with you on that point, Barry. As a former leader myself, the last thing I would want is getting ordered about by another leader. But unfortunately, that's what's been happening.
There would definitely be a clash of egos with all these leaders about boys, you're right. And I think the worst out of them all would be Ghetsis. That's the type of guy who definitely won't take orders from other people.
Oh, damn, boys. We're here in Lysander's room now, and he wants us to press more buttons like we had to do in X and Y. And this time, I think we should press the red one first since we pressed the blue one first in Pokemon Y.
So if you press the wrong one, then the world is going to end again or something, right, Obama? I'm pretty sure that was his whole thing in Kalos when we were over there.
Yeah, and congrats, you just destroyed the world, Obama. You pressed the wrong button, and now we're all gonna die.
Well, before that, I'm gonna have to battle him, isn't it? And then we can worry about the world getting nuked for real! Although, out of all the team leaders, this guy has to be the most insane.
Lysander, along with Team Aqua, are the most insane leaders in my humble opinion. I mean, who'd want to live on a planet that's all ocean and all Lysander wants is mass genocide?
Yo, Barry, did you see that? Lysander is using Master Balls as well. He probably has a full team of Pokemon inside Master Ball, which probably means the other leaders, along with Cyrus, was using them too.
Okay, wow, Shiro, Just got one shot by this stupid cat thing. Did not see that coming. Lysander must be using the one-hit KO action replay code along with the Master Ball.
Yeah, it's official. All the leaders here have been using action replay codes in one form or another, boys. And they still die, which goes to show cheaters never prosper children.
Alrighty, well, switching to Salamence was a sound choice, Obama. Since Mian Xiao is a fighting type, our flying type moves were the best move.
Yeah, but now our MVP is dead, Joe. Shiro is the goat of all goats, and now he's gone.
Okay, his next Pokemon is Pyroar, and this is one I really dislike a lot. First of all, it's a normal fire type, which doesn't make any sense in my head, and its design is garbage.
And it's about to die thanks to Earthquake from our dragon. So yeah, no need to complain anymore about this Pokemon Donald. We can move swiftly on to his next.
Okay, so far out of the 4 leaders we've battled, this guy has to be the most difficult only because he started off coming at us really strong.
Yeah, and he has a Honchkrow too, boys. I swear these guys are just lending each other their Pokemon or something at this point. It would have been nicer to see more Gen 6 Pokemon on his team instead of a random Gen 4-1.
Especially when it just died to another Thunderbolt from Raichu. They must be wanting each other to lose berries, so they lend the shittiest Pokemon on their teams to each other.
And now we're dealing with Gyarados, boys, another Pokemon not from Gen 6, but this time from Gen 1.
Yeah, this really is dumb and extremely uncreative from Game Freak. The only Gen 6 thing about this battle is the fact that he's used Mega Evolution now, which won't stand up to our Z move.
Now, Joe, I'm not even going to waste a Z move on this guy. He still has his legendary, and if it's a Veltal, then our Z move will one-shot that legendary.
Yeah, about that. I think you'll find he has the Deer Legendary instead Berry, which is a fairy type, but I guess you could still try your Z move strat and see what comes of it.
Xerneas is the type of Pokemon to have a move that will restore its health. Everything about it screams life, and it is the Pokemon that represents life, I guess.
You say that, Joe, but in that movie with Diancie, it kind of just dies at the end and turns into a tree for some reason, which is a little weird considering the Pokemon does actually represent all life on Earth.
Yeah, that didn't make much sense, but the best thing was watching a Veltal go on a mad one and blast everything with its death ray until they turned to stone. I mean, I'd also be that mad if someone woke me up from a 1,000-year nap.
Of course you would, Joe. And also, Xerneas survived that attack from Raichu, which I'm not really surprised about, to be honest.
Wow, and of course Lysander would use a full restore too. I mean, seriously, imagine using a full restore on a legendary like that. What kind of fool would do something like this?
Yeah, and now Raichu is going to die, so while you deal with that berry, I just want to say a big, big thank you to everyone for helping our channel reach 10,000 subscribers. Between the last episode and this one, we made it to that goal.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. We are so grateful to you all and hope you'll all continue enjoying our content for as long as we can make it. You can also expect part 2 of our Let's Go journey to come out after this series is finished too. So get ready for that.
Yeah, 10,000 subs is pretty mad. Next goal will have to be 100K, and then maybe we'll do a face reveal or something. LMAO.
I've had enough of looking at your face after this series, Obama. And I'm sure our leader and creator, Discoml, is too. But anyway, well done for beating Lysander. That's 4 down now and 2 to go.
Yeah, we have Ghetsis and Giovanni himself left. I expect the difficulty scale to properly spike now or something, Obama, so let's go.
Nah, I got this Donald. The only Pokemon I'm slightly worried about dealing with is Hydreigon, but other than that, I think we should be fine. Plus, Shiro will be revived too.
Yeah, I think you got less Pokemon killed than your usual amount, Barry. So good going, I guess.
That's not a compliment either before you take it as one, Obama. And also, how is Guzma still standing there with those 2 grunts like that, holy hell?
Okay, that portal thing opened up in Lily's room, which means that's going to be the way to get to Giovanni.
Yeah, and look who showed up already, boys. I thought he'd be in his own office or something, but here we are. I guess this is where the battle will be.
I swear, Ghetsis is like perpetually angry, though. He's never not happy or anything. He's always either shouting or abusing someone in one form or another.
Yeah, you're right, Donald. He's already getting ready to abuse Lily by the looks of it. Elmow.
Yeah, what's so funny about Lily getting abused, Obama? I think the real evil here is you.
If you think I'm the evil one, then what does that make this guy Joseph? I'm not the one who tried to freeze an entire city to death with a dragon death ray machine, was I?
No, but that sounds super fun to do, and it's probably what I could do when I retire, boys.
Well, at least Ghetsis is starting off the battle with a Pokemon that's from his generation and region, unlike Lysander from before. Always good to see Confragrigus, too.
And Shiro is the perfect choice as well since we have Dark-type moves on us.
And yet this stupid thing somehow survived. And its ability activated turning our 1 into Mummy 2, which I have no idea what it does, so someone let me know.
I don't think that ability literally does anything useful. It's more of a nuisance one on our end, meaning our ability gets overwritten.
Yeah, but now we have that ability for the rest of the battle, Joe. Although his first Pokemon was killed rather quickly, which is a good thing, I guess.
Confragrigus isn't the Pokemon I was worried about anyway, Donald. Most of his team is pretty simple to deal with, but I'm just glad we're getting a proper Unova region team, unlike Lysander.
Lysander has to be one of the worst leaders, with Guzma being the only one to go below him. They're both useless, and Team Flare was way more interesting in the anime anyway.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. I wouldn't disagree with that opinion. Also, Barry, you would have been wise to switch out to a Pokemon with water moves or something when dealing with Bouffalante here.
Yeah, I should have seen this coming, actually, Donnie. I don't know why I kept Shiro out, but I'm starting to get a little god complex or something with him since he's just so strong.
Yeah, and now Shiro is probably going to die again in a space of about 10 minutes.
Shiro has been taking a lot of L's in this episode, Obama. For a Pokemon you love so much, you sure as hell do love killing it even more, you know.
It was another tactical death, Donald. Shiro had to take this L so I could switch out to the ice cream, which will one-shot this cow thing with one ice beam.
Or you could have saved all our time and just switched out right from the beginning. But all right, do whatever you want at this point, Obama. We only have a few minutes left before this series ends amazingly.
Yeah, can't believe we have about 10 minutes or so less left of our Ultra Sun playthrough, boys. It's sure as hell been an absolutely wild ride.
And who knew that Obama would end up being worse than me? I sure as hell didn't see that coming at all. But here we are.
Yes, sorry, Joe. I still don't think I'm worse than you in any way, shape, or form. I've just had some of the worst luck anyone has ever experienced before in a Pokemon game.
Nah, Obama, you are seriously worse than Joe. And the funny thing is, he hadn't even heard of Pokemon before we played our first game, the dumbass LMO.
Yeah, see, even Donald agrees, and I know our viewers do. But anyway, here comes his ace Pokemon, boys. Let's see how well Salamence does against Hydreigon here.
I forgot about Salamence when balancing up how our battle with this thing would go, Joe, so I think one Dragon Pulse from him should be enough to end this Hydra's life.
Holy hell, that was pretty slick there. Barry, good job. His ace Pokemon is now dead. But then again, we still have to contend with the legendary Ghetsis we'll have, which will either be Zekrom or Reshiram.
Ah, and here it is already Donald. Although I think that Ghetsis should have swapped out one of his Pokemon for Genesect or something. Don't you both think? That Pokemon was created by Team Plasma after all.
Well, it wasn't created by them, Joe. They just felt like sticking a cannon on it for some reason and then calling it a day and not doing anything else with it.
That's actually a good point, Obama. Why would they waste all that time and energy to stick cannons on a Pokemon and then leave it at that? I mean, the only thing we all got from it was that stupid movie with a female Mewtwo, which made no sense at all.
Yeah, Mewtwo should only be male, and there should also only be one of them, too. I don't get there being two, even if some random people decided to make another one somehow.
Okay, and that concludes battle number 5, boys. Ghetsis wasn't as difficult as I thought he would be, actually, but he do be looking quite mad at losing to another child again.
Wow, he just bitch-slapped Lily to the ground. Obama, he literally did just abuse her physically. This guy has to be the most evil out of them all to start abusing children like this.
Yeah, I can't believe Game Freak just went there with the children violence or whatever you want to call this. That was some mad shit right there.
And look who decided to show up and save Lily from getting any more abuse. It's our science nerd boy Cyrus, who keeps tapping his arm like he's got some issue or something.
Okay, but this Cyrus doesn't look like the one from Ghetsis' World, Obama. So basically, we have a bunch of people all from different universes, which means we could have an infinite amount of evil teams to deal with.
Well, yeah, that's literally what the definition of the multiverse is. Donald, you moron. We watched that Doctor Strange movie together. Remember where he turns himself into a zombie?
I'll turn you into a zombie if you keep up that sassy attitude, Joseph. But now that Ghetsis has been dealt with, Obama, you can head on through that portal lift thing and finally battle Giovanni.
Yeah, I think Giovanni will be one of the easiest to deal with since his team is basically all ground types like back in the day. He could use a more varied team, but I guess he likes ground types for some reason.
So what I want to know is how they managed to find the time to take over the entirety of Ether Paradise and also do all this decorating too with that giant R in the middle and this whole red color thing going on.
Yeah, Joe Biden asking the real questions here, everyone. But anyway, it looks like Lysander has had some abuse too. So like mother, like daughter is the deal here, apparently.
And Giovanni plans to use the Ether Paradise energy to get Ultra Beasts or something too. But I mean, like, why couldn't he have just done this all in his world instead of coming to our one? It would have been a lot cheaper and faster.
I think this Giovanni is one who was never beat by red or gold, whoever you want to pick Obama. So he's used to always winning. And he probably took over Kanto and has set his sight farther now.
He set his sights farther for no reason, though, Joe, because I'm sure in his world there's an Alola region with an Ether Paradise in it.
How about you just battle him and focus on not getting our team killed or losing completely Barry? And his first Pokemon he sent out is Wugtrio.
And of course, Obama would send out the Pokemon that he's super effective against. Literally, there is no surprise here with this strat.
Well, I did just make the better decision of using the ice cream now, Joe. So yeah, shut your mouth, bro. Ice Beam will clean up in this battle now, watch, and worst case, I can just go full suicide on this guy with Explosion.
I think these guys would tank Explosion though, Barry. I've noticed that ground types always have super high defense stats, so it'll be a waste of your time to blow yourself up.
Well, he's played a little smart there by using spikes, which means our Pokemon will take damage every time they switch out. But we have the hail effect active, which means any Pokemon with Sturdy will still die in one shot.
Yeah, exactly, Joe, which is why I love Hail and Snow Warning. And it'll be perfect for his next Pokemon being Rhyperior here. This thing looks like the type of Pokemon to have Sturdy.
Hey, you two, I just realized that he's going to probably have a legendary Pokemon of his own at the end, and it'll probably end up being Mewtwo.
As long as it's not the girl one, then I don't care. Plus, we have Delmise, which can tank psychic moves, and its ghost-type ones will clean up against me too.
I bet he'll have some OPZ move, though, like a Mewtwo 1 or something. This is the final battle, so I expect him to have some sort of surprise in store for us.
Wow, the ice cream is properly murdering all his Pokemon, and we haven't even lost one single one yet, which is a miracle in of itself.
Yeah, and now he sent out Nidoking, an absolutely amazing Pokemon, and definitely one which is a fan favorite. I don't know anyone who hates this Pokemon.
And it too just got nuked by an ice cream. We're seriously on a roll here now, boys, so you gotta keep this momentum up for his final Pokemon, Obama.
Yeah, and it is in fact Mewtwo. What a way to end this final battle against probably the most famous Pokemon ever.
Well, technically speaking, Obama, Pikachu is probably the most famous Pokemon ever, along with Charizard, but Mewtwo is up there for sure.
Wow, and the guy did have another surprise for us too. He has Mega Evolution on him, and he's using the Mega X Stone, which is actually fitting, considering it makes Mewtwo look like he has a mech suit on, like in the first movie.
Okay, but Mega Mewtwo Y is actually the better version, Donald. It looks way better, and is also the stronger form of it too, I think.
And you actually went and used Explosion thinking you could take out Mewtwo Obama. You are seriously so stupid! But now's your chance to send out Peppermint.
Yeah, the plan was to use Peppermint all along, Donald. It's only fitting we have the final battle of this series with the Pokemon that started it all. And I will really miss using this guy after we leave Alola.
Yeah, everyone always gets attached to the first Pokemon they use in a game, I think. I remember the first Pokemon we ever used on this channel, and it was Typhlosion. One of the best starters ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely one of the best. Mewtwo is also one of the best to accept this one, which seems to love using Drain Punch to restore his health like a little punk.
All right, this isn't exactly how I wanted this to go. Peppermint shouldn't have died like that, but it did us a great service.
Well, you did it at a great disservice getting Peppermint killed so close to the end of the game, you idiot.
Okay, I am so glad this is ending soon. Obama, you have butchered not only your reputation, but also our one as well. I don't feel like being associated with you anymore.
I won't even apologize for that one, Donald. I had a whole vision for how this final battle was going to go, and then Peppermint goes and dies.
Well, at least we get to see the Ghost-type Z move again for the final time. And I guess this means this is the last time we'll be using any type of Z move again.
Well, I certainly don't want to show my face in Alola again. I'm sure the news had spread everywhere now about how the first champion of Alola loves self-destructing his Pokemon and also killing them on purpose in battles.
Hey, you're making it sound way worse than it actually has been, Donald. And also, you were the one who taught Explosion to the ice cream, so the destruction in this playthrough has been your fault.
Well, that's that, everyone. Obama actually beat the post-game along with the main game. Don't worry if you're all as traumatized as we are. Then we'll pay for your therapy.
Yeah, I'll happily buy an entire hospital for you all, and then we can all recover together. But anyway, I can't believe this series is actually over, guys. In a way, it has actually been a really fun playthrough, don't you all think?
Well, I want to see how well Joe does in the Galara region next, and then we can compare who's the worst Pokemon trainer. But for now, this does conclude the Ultra Sun and Moon playthrough, everyone. We hope you enjoyed sharing this journey with us, and you can expect our Sword and Shield adventure to start very soon.
Yeah, one thing though, I still think Guzma should be thrown in prison or something. He can't just be accepted into society again like nothing ever happened with him.
Agreed. But don't give him a cell with me, thanks very much. I don't want to get shanked in the middle of the night by that creep.
I see Faba is still up to his same old tricks too. And I think someone needs to do something about those frozen Pokemon as well. Lusamine can't still be insane after everything.
Well, everyone, on that note, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already and made it this far. Also consider becoming a member too if you want to help support the channel.
Yeah, we're sure you'll love the next piece of content we make, which will be part 2 of Let's Go Eevee like we mentioned earlier. But for now, like Joe said, thank you so much for watching, and send me your therapy bills too. I got you covered, LMAO.
Yeah, thanks guys. Have a great day with whatever you're doing, and until next time, peace out.